Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Friday, August 30th, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. NASA makes a discovery as important as gravity about the Earth. Buckle up. We've got a lot to talk about. 3 Atlantic tropical disturbances could be developing in the coming days. Keep calm. It's boom time. A Gulf disturbance is increasing chances for rain in Louisiana. A new area of concern in the Gulf of Mexico near Texas, the nexus of the Schmexes, has a 20% chance of tropical development in the next 3 to 7 days. But that's not the big story. The Atlantic is awakening with 2 tropical disturbances being tracked as hurricane season nears peak. And here is 1, 2, 3 in the Atlantic Basin, then this is what we're talking about. The biggest potential here is Disturbance 2 with a 40% chance of formation over the next 7 days. Disturbance 3 has a lesser chance. And formation 20% over the next 7 days for this disturbance. It looks like it may move through here, redevelop and slam into Maine. It's insane. Take a look, and another storm could be slamming into Texas as a Cat 3 or Cat 4 September 11th or 12th. Let's back it up, and you can see that disturbance here creating a little bit of havoc in Louisiana, but that is going to dissipate by the end of the weekend, and something then, that system moves offshore, and it appears to develop here right there. First week of September, something could be spinning out of control offshore the Carolinas and make landfall on Maine on September 9th. And you can see that tropical storm moving through the Yucatan here, down in the southern portion of the map, intensifying into a very extreme hurricane by mid-September. Cross your fingers that this is not the model that holds up. This looks like it could even be Cat 5. And now the full forecast. Heat and humidity continues in the Ohio and Tennessee valleys. Strong to severe storms in eastern Mich. High heat and humidity continue across portions of the mid-Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee valleys today. Hey. A break in the heat and humidity. More typical late August temperatures is expected going into Labor Day weekend. It feels like fall here and has for the last week. It's cold, it's blustery, and the leaves are changing and falling, what seems to be quite early. Scattered strong to severe storms are possible across eastern lower Michigan today as well. So heed the warnings and, well, click on your county for more information at weather.gov. Seismic update. We did have a pretty big rumbler at 6 magnitude in the Kamchatka in Russia, which may have kicked off Kadimsky, the massive eruption there to 33,000 feet occurring, well, just after that earthquake. Some mid-ocean ridge activity here. Wow, I just sneezed. Bless me. Mid-ocean ridge activity 5.6 on the Reykjanes Ridge maybe has some activity associated with the ongoing eruption. Overall, worldwide low-level activity, except the 2 outliers we just pointed out there. And that moves us over to worldwide volcano news. We've got Sangay volcano to 20,000 feet. Liwatobi to 9,000 feet, Ducono to 8,000 foot today, Abeco to 10,000 foot today, Fuego to 16, Raventador to 15,000 foot, Ducono to 8. White Island puffing with its uptick, another 3,000 foot episode, Sabankaya, Karaminsk, Karimsky, that's the Kamchatka volcano. The earthquake happened right over here, and so there could be an association. A massive eruption, flight level 330, which is 33,000 foot puff there from Karimsky. Semaru, who knew? Now you do. 15,000 foot puff right after Karimsky. Ibu to 8,000. Nevado de Ruiz, 20,000 foot puff today. Liwatobi puffing and passing. Fuego to 16. Ducono to 8. White Island continuing low level activity. Sabankaya to 25,000 feet. Karimsky also on the list. Like we said, Nevado de Ruiz, 25,000 foot puff. And take a look, Shishaldin has been downgraded. Alert status reduced to green due to decreasing activity there at Shishaldin. And the eruption at Svartsengi on the Reykjanes Peninsula continues at stable levels over the past few days. Here you can see the magma slowly moving forward to the north. The new hazard map came out for Svartsengi as well. All the links will be below the video. And that wraps up the list with Semeru to 15,000 foot in the most recent update for the 30th, Ibu, capping the list for the day at an 8,000 foot puff. There is more volcanic activity we need to talk about. Major U.S. city could be struck by a volcano that is and may be erupting for the first time in 800 years. And the volcano in question that we're looking at here is Edgecumbe. Alaska Volcano Observatory fully activates monitoring network over Sitka's rumbling mountain. Yeah, and that is Mount Edgecumbe. Seismic activity at Mount Edgecumbe has declined since a 2022 swarm of earthquakes, but the risk remains, and we're going to break it all down for you. Here is Edgecumbe Volcano in eastern Alaska, and you could see that seismic swarm back in 2022 and 2023. And I do even have the seismics up here from this year. Here is the last year, and you can see a seismic swarm in October of last year, and then in January and February of this year, another one in May and July. It seems to be pulsing here at a pattern. Boom, 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 boom. So maybe the next boom is coming at Edgecumbe. The bad news is we don't know much about this volcano. It has erupted at least 4 times in a major way in the Holocene, and it seems to erupt every 2,000 to 4,000 years, which means we are 4,000 years since the last eruption, which is bad news. We do not know the magnitude of the eruptions. There just hasn't been any volcanology or studies of the eruptions based on the morphology of the volcano. These are going to be VEI 3 or 4 eruptions, maybe greater. But so the potential exists for quite a significant eruption in southern Alaska. I bet you didn't have that on your bingo card. Space Weather News update. So we've got a little spicy activity today, low-level M flare, some other activity over the last 24 hours due to a new incoming region. Let's take a look at the latest HMI intensity. Very slow to load, I apologize. But it is the latest look at the sun. So this active region here is what's been pumping out those impulsive M flares, and we may have some larger sunspots turning around the limb in the coming days. I don't have that backside information up. What is happening now is a minor geomagnetic storm as I'm speaking, and it may be peaking. So really good to get out in the northern lats to take a look at aurora as it is. Well, it is. Look at it. It's blazing. It is lighting up the night sky at only KP 4.5. We've been in geomagnetic instability now for 12 hours. What's the cause? Well, the BZ shifted south in a spectacular way, and it's staying there, keeping us in this aurora-rich zone. Plus, we just had a pulse in density here, lighting up the sky and bringing that KP from 4 up to 4.5. So tonight might be a good night to get out and look up. Did any of you see the massive fireball spotted over North Carolina and much of Appalachia? According to NASA, pieces of a meteorite might be on the ground in communities such as Spruce Pine, Ingalls, and Alta Pass, which are all located in the western part of North Kakalaki, otherwise known as North Carolina, along the Blue Ridge Mountains. We do have video of the bolide, and we're going to share that with you now. It's coming in at the top of the screen here, and we are not going to get any footage of that. There you can see the sky lighting up. I suggest you watch the video on your own, where you'll get a larger view of all the reports of the bolide. Here is all the viewers that reported seeing the bolide all over the Appalachians. Leave a comment below if you witnessed it or have it maybe on your Ring camera. Now, this is the big story of the night. NASA makes a discovery as important as gravity about the Earth. A new planet-wide electric field that is as fundamental to Earth as gravity has been discovered in a major scientific breakthrough. The ambipolar electric field, that's what was discovered, which begins 150 miles above the planet, has been described as a great invisible force that lifts up the sky and is responsible for the polar winds. The polar winds interact with the jet streams to help drive the majority of weather patterns across the globe. Now, let that sink in. Do you think they know anything about how to predict weather or climate? Yeah, they just discovered this field. Until now, the field had only been theorized, but a NASA team, which includes scientists from the University of Leicester, has now sent a rocket into the field and measured it for the first time. What it means is that Earth now has 3 energy fields. How do you like them apples? Gravity, the magnetic field, which shields the planet from cosmic rays and is weakening, and the ambipolar electric field. We don't know nothing about nothing, apparently. If gravity existed alone, the heavier ions would sink towards the ground, but around 150 miles high, atoms in the atmosphere break apart into negatively charged electrons and positively charged ions, literally holding up the sky and allowing us to have an atmosphere and breathe. Amazing discovery. Also, the discovery of a submerged bridge built by ancient humans rewriting Mediterranean island history. A submerged bridge made by ancient humans has been discovered in a Spanish cave, revealing human colonization of the Western Mediterranean happening much earlier than previously thought. This submerged bridge is dated to maybe 7,000 years old on the island of Majorca. The latest timeline of human settlement on Majorca also coincides with ancient environmental events discovered on the island, such as the extinction of the goat antelope, Myotragus bairicus. So, discoveries left and right happening every day, rewriting human history. Everything we found shattered our expectations. Archaeologists discover the first astronomical observatory from ancient Egypt, sitting there in plain sight the whole time. The first ancient Egyptian observatory discovered in modern times showcases advanced knowledge of astronomy and its profound link to the Egyptian spiritual and ritualistic practices. Archaeologists have identified for the first ancient Egyptian astronomical observatory on record, which they say is the first and largest of its kind, according to a translated statement from the country's Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities. So not only have we've been watching the stars the entire time, we now know this from Göbekli Tepe, which predates dynastic Egypt. So apparently that information was passed on through the dynastic Egyptians. Archaeologists find 500-year-old navigational tool in Poland, possible connection to Copernicus. The compass found in Frombork, where Copernicus spent many years, is unique and a stunning discovery, as these guys are still stuck in space for several more months. Now, these monkeys are using names to communicate with each other, according to a new study, which adds credence to the fact that everything has a soul and consciousness. Just last year, we found out that elephants call each other by name on the African subcontinent. And now monkeys using names to communicate with each other, according to a new study. Leave a comment below if your mind is blown as much as mine is. A new study coming out confirms what Lee and I have been saying for years. Cold kills 8 times more than heat in Europe. It's not global warming. It's not CO2. It's the sun. Now, there has been criticism of global bodies for putting too much emphasis on heat, and we're all burning up. We're all going to die in 10 or 12 years. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Heat is wonderful, and CO2 is plant food. So if the earth gets warmer, winters will be milder, and more plants and more crops, more food production. All good things. But if it just drops 1 degree C, 8 times more people will die. And those are the facts. You want to know more facts? Join Leah and I on our radio show at Revolution Radio every Saturday noon Mountain Time in Studio B. You just hit the play button at noon Mountain Time and you'll get to listen to the whole show. What's even better is we put up the replay with graphics Saturday night on Magnetic Reversal News at 8 p.m. We're going to be talking about this paper here. Historically unprecedented northern Gulf of Mexico hurricanes from 650 to 1250 CE and how it completely goes against what the mainstream scientific community and weather forecasters say. They say that a hotter Earth means more and severe hurricanes when the data shows the exact opposite. We'll break it all down tomorrow on the radio show. As well as this paper, late phase solar flares could be more dangerous for Earth's communication than we thought, according to a new study. Very interesting topics, as well as this one on deep sea landslides. Yeah. This study reveals devastating power and colossal extent of a giant underwater avalanche that some catastrophists claim is evidence for the oceans sloshing over Earth. But this paper shows no evidence of that, and we'll get into it in the morning. And if you haven't seen it, we just uploaded the most creepy 2.5 minutes you will ever view. An AI video called Capital of Conformity is predicting the future of humanity, which is bleak and really creepy. So go check that out. Links will be below. Or just go over to Rumble and become a member and join Oppenheimer Ranch Project and bring our subscribers up higher than 11,000 too. Did you know you can get your own personalized antibiotics or any other medication, a year's supply sent to you directly to your house? Now, one of the viewers mentioned me, he tried to get the case, but he said because he didn't have his own personal doctor or general practitioner, he didn't have a GP, they denied him. Yeah, all you have to do is Google a local GP in your area and say that's your doctor when you're talking to these doctors. That's it. That's how you get by the whole protocol. And then you can get anything you want in your Jace case, a year's supply of life-saving medication that you already take, that you're already prescribed, or anything else you can think of, including up to 8 of the most necessary antibiotics that may save your life, as well as inhalers, ivermectin, or anything else you can think of that you may need to survive and thrive in a bad time. It supports us. It supports your preparedness and your peace of mind. Go get it. Go get a Jace case. And for the entire month of September, which is Preparedness Month on Earth, Jace is going to give us an additional 5% on every case you buy. So that's a way to give back more to the community and still get peace of mind. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share the video. Lee and I are going to be preparing over the next few weeks to get to Crestone and to do the most amazing permaculture and seed-saving workshops you've ever been involved in. And the only way you can be involved in them is if you're there. So be there or be square. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned. The only way we can grow is if you share it with people that are not subscribed to the channel. You can become a Patreon, support the work we do, watch all of our podcasts in one place, commercial free for as little as $1 a month. We love you. Be safe. And that is a boom. Winter is coming.